from Bryant is our first question today. And I'm going to have to say he or she writes because I don't know. Ashton can be a girl.
Yeah, could go either way.
Could be a boy, right? I've got a daughter named Ashton, so forgive me if we don't know the sex of our question today, or the writer of our question, I should say. Currently, I'm trying to be smart and frugal with my money. I'm in the green 43% over the last 15 months. And I've accumulated over $700,000 in profit from DCA'ing into stocks, ETFs, dividends, and futures. However, I've been in the red for a month now. I work hard for my money, so investing is making me a nervous, sad wreck. Should I sell everything? Should I sell something? Should I just sit and wait? We told you it's going to be complex today. So, wow, first of all, in the green 43% over the last 15 months. That's been quite a ride. I mean, the market, the S&P 500 is up double digits, not 43% by any means, but it's been a good takeoff point from where we ended the year in 2022. And if you were in stocks and ETFs and dividends, there's certainly some profits to be made. But she says, or he says, that investing is making that person a nervous, sad wreck. I mean, you think about all the stress that goes along with that. But let's kind of zero in on your thoughts there, John, about all that's going on with Ashton.
Well, first of all, congratulations on being up 43% over the last 15 months. But now you say you're in the red. Now, I'm not sure if that's in the red just in that month or if you're back down in the red, because one of the things that Ashton says that they're investing in is futures, and that can be very volatile. Scott, I think the key question here is, you've told us, Ashton, where you are in your account, but where are you financially? That's the much bigger question here. And I think that if you focus on that, do you have the basics under control? Are you doing the things that are necessary for you to build that firm foundation? Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have a strategy that you're putting money away in the proper way for retirement? Do you have enough life insurance? All of the basic foundational things are in question from your question, because clearly you could have a situation where you're doing great in an account, but if you have the volatility that you've talked about being in the red for the last month, then that could be a problem. And Scott, I think this is very symptomatic of where people get to when they swing for the fences in investing and don't really take a complex and a more comprehensive approach to looking at their finances.
Yeah, interesting you use the term swing for the fences, because that's really in basically alluding to the risk level that Ashton is taking here. And she or he has already mentioned that it's making them a nervous, sad wreck. But when you think of the baseball analogy of swinging for the fences, you're trying to hit a home run, right? And that's what Ashton's trying to do with his investments, is hit the home run. But you think about, even in baseball, Major League Baseball, the best hitters in history, Hall of Famers who hit lots of home runs, they also struck out a lot. A couple of examples. Roger Maris had the single-season home run record at one point. It was broken by Mark McGwire in the late 90s. But in 1961, Roger Maris hit 61 home runs and was, for the next 50 years almost, 40 years I guess, was a household name because of that, right?
He was a home run king.
Yeah, the home run king in a single season. Now, otherwise, his name was not really all that relatively known, but for hitting those 61, he was known as the home run king. But he also, in that same year that he hit 61 home runs, struck out 67 times, right? So he struck out more than he cleared the fences. And another example, real quick, Babe Ruth in 1927. Everybody knows who Babe Ruth is. He hit 60 home runs that year, which is, at that time, was after Maris, was the second most in a single season. And he struck out 89 times. So when you swing for the fences, that's the risk level that you're at. You can hit a home run, and it looks like for a short time Ashton has, but you could also strike out.
Yeah, and Ashton asked about, should I sell something? Should I sit and wait? What you should do is you should have a plan. Clearly, you've got to have a plan for what you're doing. Otherwise, you're being very reactive as opposed to being very proactive in what you're doing as far as your finances are concerned. Ashton mentions DCA'ing into stocks, dollar cost averaging into stocks. We're huge fans of dollar cost averaging. But one of the tenets of dollar cost averaging is that what you've got to do is you got to stick with it when you have low points in the market. Now, we're not necessarily at a low point in the market. We have had a little bit of a pullback from the heat that we got in the spring and the summer from the market, but that is fairly much to be expected after a big run up, and we did have a nice run up in the market. But I think Ashton is really asking the wrong questions. I think the question that we would ask is, what is the purpose of your money? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Having a 43% return over the last 15 months, that feels good. That feels great. And that's something to be proud of. But what does that get you? And if you can't hold on to that because of the volatility that you're engaged in, then you really are just playing a game as opposed to really making progress with your personal finances.
Yeah, one more analogy as we wrap up on this question, John. I think if you want to be truly financial independent, it is a crock pot, not a microwave, that will get you there.
Absolutely. Strategy is not something that's sexy. It's sexy to take a look at, oh man, look at that return on that stock and that thing is flying, and that gets your blood pumping and your adrenaline going and all of that. That's not the way to financial independence. Having a plan, having a strategy, and being very systematic and very, very methodical in what you're doing, that's how you get to financial independence.
If you've got questions for the Get Ready for the Future show, you can call them in, leave a voicemail, or shoot us a text. Either way, it goes to the same number, 501-381-5228. It's 501-381-5228 to hear your questions answered on the air. If you'd rather send them with an email, you can do that too. Just write us a question and send it to show@getreadyforthefuture.com.